What time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah. Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show.
You've tuned in, yeah?
Yeah, fun Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, who wants a treat, yeah? Keep listening.
She's not making a mess, is she? She wouldn't dare. Hello and welcome to the Thursday edition of your show. Hope you, well, what's the line? I used to say the line all the time on the radio. Hey, to quote every old guy in the province today, hot enough for you? You know? Is this pretty hot out there? Good to know that joke still doesn't kill here just like it didn't there. That makes me very happy. Welcome to the party. We have one hell of a show for you, which is something that all the hosts say as well. We're really hitting all the basic host terms, which is always fun. We have old friends, new friends, in-between friends, other guys. We have damn near a full studio. If you don't believe me, I'm going to show you right now as we introduce our first guest of the day. He is the drummer for not just Raven Witch, but also, oh gee, what am I wearing here? Battle Axe.
Battle Axe gonna give it to you.
We have Tristan the Destroyer in the house. The environment today.
What a pleasure to be here.
Thank you
Thank you so much for squeezing me
I felt
in.
so bad, because you are a guy, like, you are in a band. You're in bands. You're in a
That
bunch
is
of
true,
bands.
I am in
You're a
bands.
musician. And you were always, trying to move forward with your music career. And I'm a guy who sits in a position, be it very, very small, on a level of, like, how much a guy can do. But I'm in a position where we can promote our friends and the people we care about and help them out with what they do. And you were hitting me up on the Facebook Messenger, and I hadn't checked in like 2.5 weeks because I hate checking. And I was telling you that. I'm like, dude, this is not the way to get. It was like 5 people. I accidentally got in there because Coach Mazer was trying to get me set up on some sort of phone call device on the Messenger, so it popped it up, and I was like, oh, Tristan, that show's coming up.
I do this new thing where I send like as many people as I can personal messages and crash my computer. It was awesome. And you got one, and it paid off.
It was awesome.
Here we are.
And you were like, hey, man, just so you know, like, we got the show coming up, and I know we talked about it. I was like, oh, my God, I was so upset that I had forgotten. I'm so happy we got you in today.
Don't
as
be
we love
upset,
supporting
Gary.
our boys. So I was.
You're
I had
repping
this
our
place.
stuff.
I love it.
That's so
Thank you
nice
for the
of you.
gift as well.
Oh,
I can't wait to
course.
cut the sleeves off this one. I
Perks
hate
of
how
the
I still have
job, right? You
sleeves.
get all the cool merch.
It's so cool. I'm gonna start hanging them up on the wall, like on the sides
not a
and
bad
stuff. Like, we
idea.
gotta start building this up. Anyways, before we get to anything else, there is a show going on tonight, my friend. Tell me where it's going down and what's happening.
RCAF Hall on the North End, the Army Navy. We have Dead Sunday starting the show. Exterminatus and Vagon from the Alberta area, very tech death. And the unveiling of your grass-fed, homegrown Saskatchewan Viking metal band, Battle Axe.
Oh, man.
And we are very excited. We've been together almost 3 years.
Yeah.
We've been working on stuff, working together, schedules, work conflicts, life got in the way, but
Yeah.
we're finally
You're doing it,
coming
man.
together
Good for
to
you.
have our final unveiling.
Man.
And if you guys want to check our tunes out,
Here we go.
we're on Spotify.
Yes.
We're on all your local platforms.
Yeah.
We got YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the fun stuff.
So I want to say this now. The Jam Space. Love
Yeah.
the Jam Space.
Yeah, you've been there.
Been there.
That's
I've been
where we rehearsed for
indoctrinated.
Raven
Yeah,
Witch.
man, that's where we fell in love, dude. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
man.
So that Jam Space is so magical. And I remember seeing the setup, and then I see the videos of you, and I just picture like a death metal Phil Collins, like a Johan Hag
Wow.
Phil Collins back there, blast beat, and then stepping up with that like the side mic, just like Philadelphia
headset,
Collins, yeah, and doing like whoa, like you're going. I'm like, this is it's a 3-piece.
Well, the
It's a
only,
three-piece.
in my humble opinion, the only rule is if you're gonna wear a headpiece, you got to get up there and sell it.
Yeah.
And you got to start your sound check by saying, "It's Britney, bitch." I'm gonna totally do that tonight.
So excited for you. So this is a special show because it goes early, right?
Yeah.
We got what time? Doors like 5 o'clock.
Doors at
Or
I'm
no,
gonna say
something
5:30.
Yeah, and then
I think the
yeah.
show starts at 6.
And that's sort of like a good trend you were talking about too, because it allows the younger kids to get out there and support.
Scott from Tooth and Nails, he's been just doing a great job getting these awesome halls around the city, getting the kids, the
Yes.
teenagers, the
them
younger
out, man.
generation.
Get
Like
them
we've been
out.
playing bar shows for years.
That's all we do.
And like it just kind of like all ages shows fell off. Like I
Yeah.
grew up in Prince Albert with like
Oh,
the
boy.
Sasates, the Sparkies, the Into Eternities,
Sparky,
like
love
touring
Sparky.
through. Love Sparky.
Yeah.
But like back in the day, it was all ages.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Saskatoon probably 11 years ago.
It just
bars.
separated. Yeah, it just
And
cuts off.
It's nothing wrong with it, like, but you got this untapped market
Yeah.
of younger generation of metalheads, rockers, punkers, like whatever,
Yeah.
and they want to
That's so
come
cool.
and they want to buy merch and they want to slam into each
Yeah.
other, and it's just
love
so
that.
great. And yeah, the shows do really well.
Hell yeah.
You know,
That's
so good
how-
for
that's how we
Scott,
do.
good for Tooth and Nail.
Good
and
for
we're
everybody,
very
man.
excited.
We call this the classic win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win
Win-win-win-win-win-win.
situation. Everyone's winning. And that's what I love to hear.
I feel like a
So-
winner just for being here.
Well, stop. I feel like a winner for having you, man. Like,
Oh.
I've always told you, like, every time I run into you, it's just the funnest time because you and I are very similar minded. And, like, we got no time for assholes, got no time for dicks. Like, if you're going to be that way, that's fine. You'll go over there. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to smile and I'm going to have fun by hanging with the boys.
We're gonna get a couple extroverts together with the similar genres.
It's so
talk
funny.
for hours.
Like, I'm such an introvert in my world, but when I'm
That's
around,
crazy.
you know what I mean? When I'm around the boys, like I can sit there all day in
Yeah.
the jam space. I can sit there on stage with you guys
As
while
long
you're
as I
blasting
know
and
what,
just
as
go.
long as I like what I'm talking about,
Exactly.
that's why I could never go into sales. Because I love talking about what I love, but if you ask me to sell grain or some sort of product, I don't believe
be
it.
tough,
That
yeah.
ain't happening. I'm like, yeah, it's great.
I
you
can
know,
vouch
it's,
for that. I can
it
tell you.
grows, you can water it.
It's very, very hard. That's one of the biggest things I learned in my radio career.
Yeah.
It's very, very hard to sell something you don't believe in. If
That's
you
where the acting comes in.
Yeah, well, that's again, apparently I wasn't very good at that either.
Oh.
Anyways, moral of the story is you are crushing it tonight again. RCAF, Royal Canadian Air Force.
You got her.
Nice. Get there. He's going to be there. He's going straight there
Get
right now.
there early. I'm going there. We already loaded in.
Yeah, you gotta
I'm
head
going to
in.
get back there. I'm going to set up my gear, and
Dude.
we're going to hang out with the bands
An
and meet and greet.
absolute pleasure. Thank you for making it in. I really, really appreciate it. And we will do more of this. I promise you.
I
I'm
hope
working.
so.
I'm trying to work.
Next
it all
time,
in.
maybe get me in for like an 8-minute or.
I was gonna say, let's go.
A hard 10.
Did you believe me when I was telling you? I was like, I might be able to pull a quick 5. For you. Like, I'll take it.
I was
let's
like,
do it.
5's all I need.
I felt so bad too because I want to give you more time. So maybe next week we can get a recap and all that. We'll check
Thank
in.
you so much for having me.
I love it.
Battle X,
Crush it
Instagram,
tonight.
Facebook,
Hit 'em up.
RCF Hall.
There it is. Tristan the Destroyer. Give it up. Woo! Right on, man. That's fantastic job. Say hi to everyone there for us too, hey? You're a beautiful human being. All right, Margaret, report to the stage, please. Margaret, Maggie, old Ben Kenobi Nickel, come on up. Good girl. Oh, we didn't put her shirt on. We got her a new shirt. Come on. There you go. Hi, baby. Great job, Tristan. All right. We got the Phenom on the 1s and 2s today, as you can see. I love how you always wave. It's so cute. Phenom, why don't we go ahead and hit up that Maggie cam real quick. Oh, hey, Marge, you're almost in it. Other way. That's all right. You're always beautiful, no matter the camera. Oh, look at that. The Maggie cam for our best pals over at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. Mike and Rochelle and Leroy always there to make your day better, as well as Kirsten, Shar, and Chris. We were there again yesterday, and boy, oh boy, did we have fun. She went on a little shopping spree. She picked out her straight out of the dog park shirt, literally. We have a video that actually proves it, which is very, very cute as we get ready to bring back Adventures with Maggie, which will be a very fun little video series that we will continue to do. It's a lot of fun. Pet Planet 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. Okay, good job. Well, that was quick, hey? Right on cue. Now we are going to switch it up a little bit. I love this shirt. Like, how sick is the Viking medal? Paperboy, we got a Paperboy ready. I'm going to call up my next guest to the stage here. Our next guest, never my guest. Our next guest. You know him from the Dude Podcast, who now has an intro and is now ready to roll out. And he is not proud of it in any way. And I keep having to tell him, dude, it's so good. He's also on here all the time. He's one of my favorite people in the universe. My right-hand man when it comes to everything with this network. And by right-hand man, I mean the guy way above me that I ask questions to all about that has all the answers. And he's so handsome. And he's dressed up. And he's probably smelling a little golfy today, which I'm very excited. But we're about to find out how he did on the links. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Coach Mazer! Can you hear you too? Oh, you gotta get it up. And make sure you don't show off what you're drinking there until they tell us that we can. Yeah. Man, I love this paperwork. You are right. We gotta get Matt from all the guys to do all those other songs.
Hi, everybody.
How'd you do on the course?
Very bad.
Nice.
No, you know what? I actually did. I went to the Willows Golf and Country Club.
That's what the smell is. Sunscreen.
Yeah, and it
That
kind of
sounds-
smells like I went in there, and it's a little bit dated. It kind of smells like the Western Development Museum. Now it's a little dusty in the basement, a little
museum.
dank.
Yeah, I like that though.
A little dank. It's cool. It's cozy.
I haven't smelled sunscreen once yet this summer. That's how little I've been outside.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad.
So we did lakes.
Ooh, Lakes Bridges.
And
Or
we
Lake
did
Zena.
lakes, bridges. Yeah.
Nice. We got to talk to the
Lake
Willows
Zena.
too.
So anyway, so the lakes, yeah, first time golfing, second time golfing this year. One
Yeah.
was in a little event.
The
whatever.
Dunes was the last one. I remember hearing all about that.
And
You
so
had a tick on ya.
our group decided to go from the whites today, thinking we'd be keeping the pace. I don't think that actually works because you're closer, so you're always waiting. You know what I mean? So I don't think it actually
I
works.
think
What's
we have a
wrong?
guy we can ask.
All right.
Shall we check in on the Zoom? I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know if we fixed anything or if it just worked itself out. We are about to find out as we bring in the third member of what is normally our Wednesday crew, but it is Thursday as we are heading now to beautiful Victoria. That's the state.
Yeah.
Melbourne, Victoria. I get them all wrong. There he is.
Hey.
Hey, Coach One.
Wait.
Wait for it.
Talk.
G'day, boys.
Hey.
g'day, mate.
Sick.
Okay, now you ask him your golf question.
What am I asking? What golf question am I asking?
You were going to ask him whether hitting from the whites speeds up your play or not.
Can you hear me, AJ?
Yeah, I can hear now.
Because I can't hear you.
You might have to check with the Phenom or
You
Mrs.
sound
Nickel
great.
might have to let us know if the sound is good today.
This sounds great, actually.
Mom better let me know. Yeah.
Gary gave me one of these earpieces, and it works pretty good unless your pants buckling a little bit.
Hey, can you guys golf in the winter down there?
They golf all the time. You should see his golf
we
videos
golf
that he
all the
sends.
I didn't
Here.
ask you. I was asking him.
Yeah, but I got excited because he once sent me a photo or a video. Sorry, a couple to the group 2 or 3 times where he's always like with ruse or all over the place. They're like,
We
like
did talk about
imagine
that
being
fighting the ruse on the course.
being like with elk ridge or there's
Yeah, the
deer and
Walker
there's
Zoo, all the elk.
all the nature, but he's battling with ruse all the time.
Yeah.
So the one thing I find odd here is the golf course. It's only green in the winter, and in the summer because it's so hot,
Oh, it burns.
most of the grass is brown. But
Yeah.
it's still soft. It just doesn't look very nice in the summer.
Do they have any PGA Tour stops out there?
What's the team event?
Ooh, the Davis Cup?
Like the Live
Is it
Golf
like
team
maybe?
one. Live was in
Yes.
Melbourne. Live was in
Yeah, I did
Melbourne.
hear
Yeah,
that,
oh yeah.
actually.
Liv was in Adelaide recently as well. And then Tiger Woods was out here, I'm going to say 10, 15 years ago. Is it right? No. Is it Ryder Cup? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
much about
Ryder
Ryder
Cup.
Cup.
Yeah, that'd be it.
Ryder Cup. I think
Yeah.
they might have held that out in Melbourne years ago.
Interesting. How often do you get out golfing?
Once every 4 months.
So you've sent me a video every time you've golfed.
Every-
And that's cool because it seems like, man, that guy's got the life. He's just out golfing all the time,
Well,
but
yeah.
he's shared every single time that he's golfed.
I would look at that as a huge, huge selling point to moving to Australia. Is guess what? By the way, dude, you can golf all the time.
I think there's
when
baseball.
We had no kids.
Yeah.
When we had no kids, I'd go
Yeah.
out twice a week. You go out
That's
Friday
more like
morning
it. Yeah.
before work, and then on a Saturday. But yes, now it's just driving kids to netball and baseball.
Netball.
Netball.
What's the average course look like around there? Like, are we talking lots of elevations? Do they get crazy with it, or is it just like out in the field going whack a ball around? Or is there somewhere in
Just
between
It
that?
depends on the region, but like where we are, there's lots of hills
Okay.
and wide open. So for somebody like me who sprays them,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. You don't lose many golf balls.
That's right.
If you go down to Rosebud, where you
Yeah,
where
man,
you're
that's
picking
me.
fruit,
Yeah.
Gary,
On the Mornington Peninsula there, you bet.
Yep. There's more like the dunes, more sand, and but beautiful courses down there. So
I do remember the owner of the hostel took us out for a beach day one weekend. And he loaded up the van and we went to a beach and it was a lot of that like sandy hills. I felt like it was almost like Pike Lake or something like that. It was and then a giant ocean, of course, is right there. But when you're walking down to it, it's just like those sand hills. It's pretty interesting.
yeah, that's pretty good. Now I gotta call Coach 2 on something here.
Here we go.
It was last week on Friday. I tuned in, and literally at the moment I tuned in, coach number 2 was, I think this guy trumps coach number 1. And I was going, Maze, what
Who was
you're
it?
throwing me under the bus, you're backing somebody else. But then when I heard who you were talking about, I was like, that's fair enough.
Oh,
You're
Bronzy.
talking about
Bronzy.
Greg Bronzy,
Yeah.
yeah. You remember when you took us to go bat in his batting cage in his backyard?
Yep, I remember that. The neighbors would love that. Just thwack,
All
thwack,
day.
thwack.
All day.
But I must admit, at first I was like, "Ooh, Maze, what are you talking about?" But then, yeah, I think Greg Bronze would be. I know Spiro Likas was just honored, I think, at the Berries game. But Greg Bronze would have to be top. I don't know. I'm making this up. Top 3 Mr. Baseballs.
Maybe
in
top 10.
Saskatoon.
So what,
I don't know if that's fair enough.
Ooh, should we do a Mount Rushmore of Saskatchewan baseball right now?
I'm not prepared for this. I'm just concerned though. Like, Coach 1 is just like Dufferin Avenue Media Network. Coach 1, Coach 2 is Dufferin Avenue Media. Coach 2. Like, if we keep going down this path, I'm going to be
Well, we
Coach
do- Jay Mays is Coach
7,452.
3. Jay Mays is Coach 3, so we already have 3.
Yeah.
And you stayed above your older brother, which is pretty cool.
No, but he's just like, we got Likos, we
Yeah,
have
those are the big dogs.
Bronzy, we have who's Baseball Canada for the longest time.
Oh well, like Greg Hamilton's there. Jim Baba from
Baba.
Saskatchewan.
That's
Baba's
right,
the
yeah.
one that I was thinking. So it's like, we keep naming guys. It's going to be pretty sad how I love baseball so much and not really a coach at all.
How
in it.
is the state of Canada baseball? How's Canada baseball looking? AJ, you know at all?
In comparison to what?
I don't know. Like, if they have another World Baseball Championship, are they going to compete at all? Like, do we have any good Canadian kids out there? I don't hear too much about the Canadian kids anymore.
It's good. I would say Canada basketball and soccer.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
Have
'Cause
gone.
everywhere else is going
Yeah.
way up. Like those
Yeah.
Canadian soccer guys, they were out there teaching the dudes how to play properly and not dive. They were like kicking balls at guys for diving. It was awesome. And like a semifinal of a Copacabana.
Like, soccer's
crazy.
bigger. So what would Canada being there? They're what, ranked 68th in the world, but every country plays soccer, whereas in baseball they're probably 20s.
I feel
So
like baseball is
I
taking
don't
a
think we're
backseat.
top 10. I know that
No.
in the draft there's a few players from Gull Lake.
Nice.
Is it WCBL?
yeah,
Hell
Do
yeah.
they have a team?
yeah, they do.
Yeah, I
bet.
think a few of their players were drafted. The number 1 draft pick. This isn't Canada, so I'm not going to lay claim to this, but was an Aussie.
Yep.
Ah. A good
Travis
old, a good mate.
Bazzana, is that his name? I think that's where he went, and I think his slot value they said was over 10 mil. I think he might have signed for around 15.
Sick.
That's wild, eh?
So here in Australia, it actually made the news, which was fantastic, and all the baseball websites around here are just revving it up. So it's pretty exciting to see, a kid from Sydney top everybody
it.
in the world in that.
Yeah.
For that year, that's wild.
Like, what the heck happened? Where's all the Larry Walkers and the Russell Martins? Where's all of my old Canadian heroes? What's going on with baseball?
Well, I think, what is it? The Nailers are the ones right now.
Josh
that
and Bo Naylor in Cleveland,
They're carrying
yeah.
the flag. So
Yeah. But
And there's
that's it.
another one, isn't there? But maybe is there one younger than Bo? Maybe I'm making that up. I'm confusing that.
Oh no,
with this.
yeah, in the family, I think there's 3 of them.
Yeah,
Oh,
but I don't know if the other one's playing ball.
So all they got is 3 kids from one family, and that's Team Canada?
No, there's some more guys. It's not so bad. I could send you the lineup. It's not bad, but it's not.
It was a snap judgment. I apologize for speaking
Yeah.
so quickly. I
It's-
was just curious like a cat.
It's not as exciting as what
Yeah,
Canada,
basketball.
the basketball, or what soccer did or whatever. But the basketball team looks legit.
Watch this move.
Okay.
Hey, coach number 1, how do you feel about the Olympics? Are you an Olympics guy?
This will take a serious turn if you say no. I think you're supposed to say yes.
No, he doesn't. He's not.
It doesn't have to. He's not leading you in. Be yourself. Be
I'm
yourself.
curious.
Yeah, I'm not a big Olympics guy, but like Australia. Why are you guys laughing?
Well,
I
okay,
don't know.
hold on. This is my big thing. It goes back to the being able to golf 24/7, 365. You can compete in all of the Summer Olympic events all year round. You guys should be a powerhouse when it comes to the Summer Olympic Games, and I thought that a little bit of excitement might have carried over to you as a now Aussie acknowledged person. Second
Yeah.
home Aussie?
Are you a citizen?
Citizen, that's the word. Thank you.
Yes, I am a citizen,
Oh,
so maybe I
nice.
should be a little more excited about the Olympics. I think last time in 2020, Australia ranked 6th in terms of medal count.
Yeah.
So that's not bad.
That's pretty good for
Yeah.
a smaller country.
Yeah.
We've got, I think, over 400 athletes going.
Oof.
Yeah, they
this
crush it in the
was-
swimming. They're
Yeah,
good.
that's
They're good at the swimming.
Who's the Aussie guy? That's Michael,
The-
not Phelps.
Ian Thorpe.
The Torpedo.
The torpedo.
You ever met the
Yeah.
Torpedo in Australia?
Haven't met him, no. Not yet, anyways.
I just realized that's an absolutely outrageous question to ask you, and I didn't even think about it. They ever see that guy swimming by and be like, hey, that's the Torpedo?
That's just the coach
think if
probably
you're
now, or a
watching-
mentor for a swimming club. Yeah, you know.
I would follow, if you're watching the marathon, there's an Aussie marathoner, Jess Stenson, I think is her name. She used to be Jess Trengrove, and she used to be an ambassador for a company that I worked for.
Oh.
And
That's cool.
so there's a little bit of controversy with her making the team this year. So there were 3 spots to represent Australia in the marathon, and she ranked, I think, 5th in terms of her best time to qualify in the last 2 years, but it was 6 months after she gave birth to her son.
Whoa.
So the Olympic Selection Committee, even though she didn't have one of the top 3 times, still selected her over a couple of the other athletes. And it's caused a little bit of friction.
Dude,
amongst
That's
the
cool.
running
No, that's
fraternity.
good.
No.
I've heard about that track and field where the first 2 are based on time trials, you make the team, but the coach can fill out the rest of the roster based on performance, maybe over the whole course of the year or how things are going. So they don't have to just the last meet that qualifies you for the Olympics or those qualifying meets. They don't have to go with the top 4 runners per se, or who has the 4 times. They can pick who they think will build the best team for like the 4x4s and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and for swimming.
I don't know.
Jen Cook went to the Olympics as a 5th. Remember her?
Margaret,
Margie.
what's going on? Well, Marg's,
Oh,
she's bailing.
very
Something
good
going-
guard dog
Yeah.
you have.
Good luck getting out the door, bro.
3-legged dog.
She ain't getting through that door. No, it's fine. She'll be good.
Where were we?
So my point for all this was, it
Yep.
sounds like this is just like back in the day when you and his brother selected me and Chris Dahl for the A team when we joined with the Braves, because there was definitely better players out there, but you guys were looking for those character guys that could really carry the bench and sock a dinger when you need, and that's what we were.
They're looking for a nickel plumbing and heating sponsorship, probably.
Who is?
Actually, that we should have. We probably didn't. But you know what? You take those character guys, and I'm sure it was in the city championship final when you hit that home run, Gary.
Man,
Like, it wasn't just a
I'm
nothing
still living
game.
by. I know.
It was
that's it.
actually, I mean, we'll bring it up as often as we can. But
Mhm.
it was a big hit.
Life was all downhill from there, man. That was it for me. That was my
I've
peak.
never hit a ball like that. I've never hit a game-winning grand salami in my life. Character guys do
Win a
that.
medal,
Oh, yeah,
to
they
win a
always
do.
championship. No.
Never in my
It was
life.
huge. It was the best day ever. Mark, you gonna come here? You keep going. You're hosting. Talk to him.
So I don't know where Gary was going with all this, but I already dentist sticks her up. We can't have 3 dentist sticks at one time, Gary. Well, I gave her a whole dentist stick when she was being a good girl.
You know what's gonna happen now is she's gonna get dentist sick, and it's gonna be your fault.
She's gonna dent a diarrhea all over the lovely carpet, the grass greens. You need to see this place. Have you seen the putting green that's in here? There's a little chipping green.
Did your dad
putting
tell you about
green.
it? Mark was in
Dad
here,
was
and he was.
pretty impressed with
Yeah.
it. And then
We had a
I
good
think
visit.
on some of your socials channels, Gary, there were some photos. I've
Do you-
been scrolling through that.
do
and
you
I was like,
know-
hey, this looks pretty, in the build-up of everything, it looked pretty good.
Do you know I've never seen a single one of the social media videos that we put out? Like I'm usually the one that's like picking them and cutting them up and stuff, but I've never actually seen them on our site. So I don't even know what we have on there. It's great. I love it so much. As I continue to read
Interesting.
your incredible book, I'll tell you why it's great, Adrian. As I continue to read your incredible book, and as we continue to build this place so we're all swearing with each other, not about each other, I will say this. When I come in here and I see all these people and I see how much fun we have, I say, I'm doing really good. And then I read chapters about, what was the one today? Oh, I think that's about page 150-ish, and I was learning about being honest and being open with your workmates and how it builds the trust and all that. Like every time I read your book, I feel like I'm doing something good, and then as I get into it more, it's like, oh wait, I can do it way better. And then I'm like, man, more work to do. And then I keep doing this like learning cycle as I go through. It's such a good read. I don't mean to be pumping your tires, but I am learning so much about what I'm doing wrong and a little bit about what I'm doing right in here. And it's really neat to, check myself like that. So I just want to thank you for that. It's a great time.
So on page 150, we have table 17, impacts of different levels of connection with
Yes,
colleagues.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you can see that, probably not.
That's a little far. Oh, a little bit closer. There you go.
Phenom.
Phenom in the house. Yeah, that's literally, I just finished doing that yesterday.
Little human connection, impacts on strong human connection. So question, mutual respect, shared. So it's good. And then you go down and you go benefits of strong connections.
Well, what they
It goes
did,
on. So
like
that's what you're saying.
like Adrian talked to us. Sorry how we're talking like you're not here. So he sat down with the team. And he's like, all right, now who here, basically it was like you asked them the question about like who feels like they can trust everyone here, I believe it was. And then there's that big, long, awkward silence. And then after a couple minutes, someone steps up and finally says, well, actually, I feel like I can't, fully trust this person. Then it like opens up the doors and off you go. Great training exercise, basically what he was talking about in that. I believe, right there, Coach One?
There was a great exercise that was actually from the sporting field,
we go.
and it's called an exercise called the Triple H.
Ooh.
So it sounds like a WWE.
Yeah,
wrestler.
time to play the game.
But at the Richmond Tigers of the AFL here, what they did was after all the team meetings is they had one player stand up in front of the group and share their Triple H. So it's a hero, hardship, and a highlight from their life.
Wow.
And what they would do is so that each individual kind of had to share or got the opportunity to share something personal to them. So they'd talk about their hero, their parents, their dad, or a coach, or somebody, and then a hardship, And what they found is the more vulnerable the players were, that because we all have our ups and downs and in life, but we always think it's just us or we keep it to ourselves. But they actually had every player went up there and shared that. And the year they started doing that, they won the premiership.
Boom.
So it just created this level of connection. And what the boys said, it's like, actually, you actually see them as a person and as a brother. And it created deeper levels of caring. So Triple H was a real good one. The Buffalo Bills years ago did something similar where they would just get one of the players would take turns sharing a photo from their teenage years and just talk about what life was like at that time. And they said, like, some of the stories they heard, you picture these big 350-pound linemen, these beasts who can run like a rocket, sharing these stories in tears across the room because people were just sharing who they were and their tough times in life and just bearing it all out. And they just said it just brought us so much closer together. And so we do that in the corporate space. We do workshops to get people to share their map of life. And it just totally changes the discussion from, how's the weather? What are you doing this weekend? To you actually understand their greatest moments in life and some of their lower ends. And it really brings people together.
The power of vulnerability. That's what you were talking about. When you were talking about the guy who said, I've only ever told this to like 3 people in my life, and I suffer big time from depression and anxiety. And there was the other guy that had Asperger's, and instead of being like, okay, well, that's not helping us, you talked about how it sort of became a positive thing because you put him in a situation that would make it a positive thing. And it's working with your people and what they're going through instead of just being like, oh, figure it out.
So, and you know what, Gary? I want to give you a gold star.
Uh-oh. Never got one of those before.
My kids always say, Dad, your gold stars are nothing. Like, we don't actually get anything. But
yeah, you do.
There's prestige in these gold stars.
Here we go.
But when you talked about how you read it and you're like, hey, I do some of these things, but I can get better. I often talk about, here in sport, talking about high performance.
Yeah.
So to me, it's more about higher performance. It's like, how do you get better? And you talked about that learning continuum. And that's exactly in the workplace. I think that's in life. It's not about getting to the top because how do you win the game of life? Well, I guess it does end at some stage. But if it's more about just getting better and improving on where you are, to me, that's what you should be aiming for. Because you might hit what you think is the pinnacle, but there may be more beyond that. So I love that you're going, how can we get better? Because that's the key. So gold star.
Oh, thank you very much.
Your next guest, I don't want to tease who it is, but does your next guest have an earpiece right now?
He does not.
So you haven't heard anything, right? speaking of vulnerability, I would love a very smart guy that we know will be on the show next. And I was like, I can't wait to get his opinion on this.
Jeff Peterson is coming up right after you. I told him you were on. He's like, as I said, you remember Adrian Blarson? He's like, oh yeah, he was like the super nice oldest Blarson brother. Hey, I was like, yeah, of course. It's like the super nice one, then it's grumpy Shane, and then it's fun Steve. That's how the pecking order went. And I say that lovingly. I saw Shane all the time at the hospital home lottery show homes, so I'd always see him and check in. And fantastic guy, but he always seemed like he was a little bit grumpy growing up. I was like, man, I feel like he's gonna beat me up. That's a little bit about me.
Anyway.
Okay,
He's a big boy. He's a big boy.
Handsome, big handsome man. That's not weird, is it?
No.
Perfect. Okay, anything else going on there, Coach number one, before we say goodbye for this week?
One thing, you talked about the riders and we didn't have that connection to them.
Yes.
And I think it's sad because growing up, like we just watch them always on CBC or listen to them on the radio. So I just wanted riders. What, they're 4-1.
4-1.
Riders.
4-1. So they're going pretty well. I reckon every time we catch up, we just got to do a shout out to the riders.
100%.
That's fair. Maybe that'll help me grow. See, I thought that Sean Bain Jr., who became my new favorite player because I want him to start coming out dressed as Bane, the villain from Batman fame. Like that guy says, I am going to score a touchdown now. You know, like I was born in the end zone. Like funny stuff like that. I thought we could really build on it. But then after I started talking about how he's going to be my favorite player, he started sucking. So I gave a little Gary curse on him, and I felt bad. So I don't know who to cheer for anymore. But they are 4-1, and they haven't had their starting quarterback for a couple games.
That's
And their
a
head coach
very
is Corey Mace.
CFL thing.
So
Coach change,
I didn't
right?
know who their head coach was. So now maybe we can learn about the team as we go along.
Well,
here.
that's what it's going to be. Maybe that's the angle we take is you become, because we have our own in-house rider insider with Little Brookman, our 18-year-old kid who's just out there crushing it because he's a big-time rider fan. But you could be our other rider correspondent, so you can do all the research and you can fill us in on how they're doing, and you can try to turn us into rider/CFL fans again.
All right. Challenge accepted.
Perfect.
Sweet. I
Right
can't
on.
wait.
We know him from growing up here, from coaching us, from being an author to speaking to hundreds and thousands of people and everything else. His name is Coach number one. Take care, brother. We'll talk to you next week. Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy.
Oi, oi, oi.
There you go. Maybe we could get him an intro song. That'd be it.
That would be cool, but that would be too predictable.
Would it?
AJ was a punk just like any other boy, but he never had no trouble till he started up his oi.
Well, I was going to drum it.
Sorry. That was
really
good.
good.
You know what was over the course of this thing, I was watching our friend Jeff over there,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Poor
man,
guy. Should we call him up right now? Let's get him up here.
well, but no, I want to get out of here.
No, you can leave. Well, he's coming up after you. You guys can interact, and then when you leave, he's coming up.
Who?
That's how the fish. Curdy, my main man over there.
Curdy's
He's
going-
totally not doing anything.
Curdy's doing what now?
Once you get up to leave, he's coming up. So I'm saying this. Call him up now over here. You get up.
He should be here, and I should be there.
But you're not leaving right now. We can talk to him for a bit before he.
I don't know the science of all this.
Can we get some walk-up
Let's go
music?
up. Yeah.
Let's get some walk. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him from teaching your kids at Aiden Bowman Collegiate, as well as one of the greatest goaltenders in the history of not just the Bobcats franchise, but rec hockey as a whole. His name is Mr. Peterson! We gotta move some ice down, that's right. Hold on.
I can hear. Can I take the earpiece out now?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's nice. Oh, it is fun hearing that.
It is. So, you know what's sweet about this whole thing? I was looking at you and I thought, man, this is a good lesson of team building. And I bet you there's an element or a dynamic to that when trying to manage kids in a classroom, even still, right? And
yeah,
then you need to manage personalities, and then you only have so long to build that, and you have multiple classes, and there's a dynamic. I was like, man, I can't wait to get his insight on this. And then I realized that you didn't have an earpiece and you heard nothing. You just saw lips moving. And then for
Why
that
were you
long,
laughing? I would look over and see him laughing. I'm like, what's he
because it was
laughing at?
awkward that you were talking about the vulnerability, and then you said vulnerable. And then the most vulnerable thing in the world, I think, is when you're looking at two people having a conversation with someone and you can't hear it. And he's just nodding with us like, probably a really great great conversation going on.
Responding without being able to respond. Oh, that's good stuff. How you
it
doing,
is.
buddy?
I'm doing great.
How are you? Yeah,
You guys
look
both
great.
look like you're doing fantastic.
Wow,
Do I look
that's
burnt?
very kind. You got some sun.
a
today.
Like in a
Smidge?
good way.
That's fine.
Sweet.
Like,
Oh, this is
Not
good.
if
Yeah,
it's
that's a
too
good
close
angle
to the
right
sun,
there, Phenom. I like that.
I lathered on the 50 plus today
I can
over and
smells
over.
amazing. How come all
Yeah.
sunscreen smells the same? Didn't they start like
Coconuts and bananas.
Science?
Yeah. This must be a science thing?
Science.
I think so.
Yeah.
I
That
think that's
would,
the answer.
that's
Yeah.
the only smell. Pineapple, coconut, and bananas. That's the only
I'm big
smell
into
that covers
baby
up.
sunscreen, even though I'm a full-grown man.
Hmm.
Well, that's debatable too.
You do teach children.
I do.
so-
Yeah, so I stay
or
young. but
tweens, teens.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All
Yeah.
of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to ask them that vulnerability question? You going to let them respond to it now?
Well, I have. What's that one?
Well, you were talking about
You
how
were
it carries
nailing it.
over.
I'm freezing
you-
up on the spot.
No, you were just talking about how it could carry over as a teacher as well, not just as like a boss or a coach.
So keep going with it. Go.
That
I
was
can
it.
I can respond to that.
There
Yeah.
he goes.
That's-
Prove it.
Yeah.
No.
Do you ever
I have
like
to
single?
walk the walk.
Do you ever single out kids in class and be like, tell everybody why pissing your pants is cool? You know?
I should.
Yeah, like something like that.
Yeah. Usually, if there's an EA in there, that's like who you single out, right? But, no, but I think Coach Mays was right on the money though. You do that same thing in a classroom, right? You try to set kids up for success as best way you can about how you build stuff or how you call on them or how you, like if you know quiet Jimmy that doesn't say much knows the answer because you've seen him do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you call on them and try and pump their tires a bit,
like
right?
that.
So,
So it's
no, that's
coaching it's coaching it like I think that's why
In
a
a
lot of
classroom environment.
teachers and
Our
coaches
coaches,
are
yeah.
it's a bit of a like a lot of those Husky athletes do come back and teach and
Yeah.
coach a lot, right? Because they're pretty intertwined.
yeah.
skill
Whether
sets.
whether that kid that doesn't do team sports at all in the corner or at the front of the class because they're eager to learn and they don't care about everyone. They're thinking, I want to get through this class because this is important to me. And maybe some class children are they're not as maybe into the class setting as much, or they can't focus as much, and they're maybe a bit of a distraction. So there's things to manage there as well. But it's good to show those kids saying, hey, this kid that's working hard and paying attention, all the stuff that I'm saying, he knows what I'm saying. And it's not because he's smart, it's because he's going home and he's reading and he's studying and he's paying attention. And that's makes you proud because you do all the work, right?
You ever fail a kid?
Yes.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
How?
They had to.
I mean, the teacher thinks
failed
they would be
themselves.
like they failed themselves or whatever. But
Yeah.
no, I think every time a kid doesn't pass your class or like in my case now as a resource teacher, like doing special ed, every time they don't pass a class, you take that personally for sure, right? It's like
Yeah.
a kid striking out at the plate and you taught him how to swing a bat and you're like, oh man, if I
That's a great analogy.
you know, like it's
Holy
it's
jeez.
very they're
Blew my
very
mind there.
very similar type of things that way.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
I'm sure those
That's
are a
your
lot
boy,
of,
man. That's your dude, and
Yeah,
you're
and-
pulling for him, and you want him to do
and you're
good.
like, oh, they didn't do very good.
Damn it! Did you talk to them when did you break it to him yourself, or did you find out when he got his report card?
Both the times, all the times. Yeah. No, and with my own family members too.
Well, I did notice.
Yeah.
I did notice that my nephew, shout out to Benji and Joshua, they may have rode some coattails through old Aidan Bowman there as Mr. Bose and you and a couple of my other buddies
Yeah.
have been teaching them over the years. And it's like, guys,
That's wicked.
you have to at least like go to the class. Like they're gonna pass you, but at least go in there. It's not like Mr. Gray's class back in the day where you could walk with a coffee and a coffee crisp and say see you later. You know, not that I ever did that or anything, and not that I got an 80% in that.
Mr. Gray was this tall?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Gray.
He was the badminton coach? He had to be.
I think he was
filled
the-
in once, and I made the team. So here's the thing: I went to tryouts with Rob Rogers. I tried to shout out Rob Rogers because he looked like
Did he
Ian
ever-
Thorpe.
Did he
He had the same
ever-
huge nose slope as Ian Thorpe, and
Yeah,
he would
it's
get
good.
stopped in Australia when we were there all the time. But anyway, we would try out for badminton. One year I didn't make it, and then they kind of mercied me because I was hanging out with Rob all the time, so I had nowhere to go after school. So I'd go and watch the badminton things. They're like, "You're just still coming?" I was like, "Well,
I just love badminton.
I'm
bro.
between sports, and it's fine. Well, you could come out." I was like, "No, I don't want a mercy thing." But then Gray was the coach one year, and Rob and I went to the tryouts wearing hockey helmets,
Nice.
just trying to rip these things as hard as we can at each
Amazing.
other. And he's just like, "Those two guys make the team." And I was like, above all the good
Well, clearly.
badminton.
I
Dude,
like
that
that
was-
guy's style.
Well, it was
love
all
that guy.
about your shuttlecock speed, hey? Like,
Yeah.
you probably had a very high number on your shuttlecock
You know what?
test.
But there's a flick of the wrist and emotion that some of the kids that actually took badminton more seriously had, and they were a little bit upset. But they still made the team too.
Did Rob Rogers ever get back to you? When we
As-
called him on Dude Podcast?
He messaged me and said, "Did I miss my chance?" And I was like, "You've never,
No.
no chance has ever closed."
That's right. So that's a good little teaser.
Speaking of
there.
that, that's a little good segue. About no chances, no time is too late to apologize for something.
Oh wow.
So I need to apologize to you, actually.
Me? You
did
did
you
back check or
do?
something?
I think no. Here's the thing, and I thought it was such a big deal, but went to your birthday party one year. You invited me to your birthday party.
Yeah.
We're in the vehicle. Your dad's driving. I don't know. We went to a movie. Actually, we went to the one across from Midtown. I think Pacific. No,
Capital
not Pacific,
4.
Capital 4. I
4.
think it was
Love the
Capital
Capital
4. Don't hold me to that.
Saw
We
Waterworld
must have been
there.
playing hockey together then, eh?
We were playing hockey together at that time, and then we had some of your friends that maybe I didn't know. I might have known from school, or maybe knew sort of. But I was trying to give you a huge shout out of how there was a moment that Coach Endicott was our coach, I think, at the time, and
Dwayne.
Billy
Shout out to
Joe
Dwayne.
Thompson was your the two goalies. So
You guys were
sickest
the
goalies
hottest
of all
goalies in the
time, right?
Bobcat system, man.
And
He went far, eh?
he did go far, right? So I always thought that you were in net for the shootout winning a final tournament, but it was Billy's turn. He
yeah.
was in net. And then at your birthday party in front of your buddies, and so I hope you're not upset by this, but I shouted, I was like, I scored the winning goal because I didn't expect Coach Endicott to put me in there. Puts me in there. I do this little fake forehand, backhand in there, and then I ripped on my knees because I thought it was cool, like Theron Fleury ripped on his knees, and I just shouted. Then I looked up, and there was like 5 mums that were bearing the cold. Everyone was inside, and the other fans were like, "Oh, this kid's got brain damage. Like, why is he so pumped for this?" And then it was Billy Joe made the winning save, but I shouted out to your friends that it was you, and I've been holding that for all these years.
You
I think
remember
you
that?
turned 12.
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's fine, but I just
But
needed
thank
to
you.
let you know
Yeah.
that I'm sorry
What a
for
kind man.
pumping your tires incorrectly.
Does anyone remember what movie it was? Should we call Merv?
Oh,
I'm gonna go
man.
ahead
So you were born 82.
82.
So you would have been 11. So it would have been 1992,
Maybe.
93.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. You didn't even come to John Lake yet.
No.
You were just
Man,
you were
what
just
movie
You
were
were
you
broke
in?
arm Gary at the time, I think.
That would be something to
career.
research.
Oh,
What would have been
that's so
hot?
fun.
And then it
Yeah.
would have been just the ending hockey season. So it would have been like spring. When's your birthday?
July 25th.
Yeah,
Next
so it would have been
week, 1 week
like
from today.
Right now. Yeah,
We're
so
having
it
a
would
Jeff
have been-
Peterson celebration next week.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah, so it's deadly that you held on to that connection and invited me out, because that's a few months past. That's
Yeah.
enough time for you to
Yeah,
lose
I always
interest in
remember
this guy.
liking you. I'm
What's
like,
not
oh,
to
he's
like?
like a funny guy. And
Did he ever make it to the
Huh?
backyard scrimmages? Was it Batman Returns?
Probably. Oh,
It might
whoa.
it might have been
in
Batman
the
Returns
Ooh.
July.
Mr. Stoney, no wheezing
This
the
is why
juice.
Curtis is the best.
I'm a man.
One of the reasons.
On
Might have been
stage,
Bat-
fact check. Oh,
Well,
what a
No.
birthday
I
party that
took
would have
a
been.
few more years to watch that one.
Murph could have taken us to anything.
No, Pee Wee. We would have
Real
been 12. You
wild
would have been 11.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would have been like, 92, 93,
I hope it was
93
Basic
maybe.
Instinct. That'd be awesome.
I think 93, July 93. Let's try again.
Interesting.
Son-in-law.
Not
Oh,
son-in-law.
Another Pauly Shore movie.
Oh, rookie of the year.
Oh,
Last action hero.
man, it's a lot.
I don't think it was either.
It's
I
too
don't
many
think the
options
turn
now.
feels right. I want to just hang my head on that.
Yeah.
Rookie of the year.
Jurassic Park.
No,
No.
it wouldn't. You know what? If it was Jurassic Park, I would have been
Welcome
sitting. I would have got scared probably.
Jurassic
I remember seeing that at that theater, but I don't
Capitol.
remember if that was the time.
Yeah.
Sandlot.
No,
Oh man.
this is good. There's a lot of bangers though. You would have picked a good.
List.
You-
Best rookie movie.
Might have been Schindler's List. Very
You
educational.
done with work over there? You ready to come on up?
Okay, am I kicked out?
You're
All right,
outta here.
See you later. Hey,
Ladies
I
and
gotta.
gentlemen,
I want to fill you in here.
I
While
told
we
you,
were,
you never get to come here and not come on if I can get
I
you
want to know
to.
about this
Well, I was-
podcast, though.
while we were hanging out here, I got a message from Dean saying, "When are you picking up the Your Champion shirt that I talked about
Yes,
yesterday?" Like,
yes.
so it is ready, but I haven't gone to get it, so I lied. It's not actually here. I liked Battle Axe. I followed Battle Axe just right
Tonight,
now on
RCAF,
me
advocacy.
Spotify.
Oh yeah.
On me Spotify's.
Tristan the Destroyer. It's so cool because when you think like Phil called like singing drummers, singing
man.
drummers are so cool, man.
There
And
was
to
looks-
do it for
he
a
had a
Viking
great
metal
energy,
band
man.
is wild. It's
some of
such
that
cool
old punk stuff from Brandon, man. They were all singing drummers
Yeah,
back in the day.
come on.
And the last thing is
you go.
444.
Yeah.
Not that that matters because it's your show and you watch it whenever you want to. So it could be
Now you're
8:47.
just leaving Curdy standing here, though. That's the one thing you are.
I was
doing
hoping
right
he'd take his shirt off again because the last time he
That
did
was
that, I
sweet.
melted. It was hotter than
And
35
he's not even
outside.
wearing-
It was
He's not
I
even
melted.
wearing his wrestling shirt.
I'm getting back in shape, man. Gotta get back.
You're back in shape. You're gonna get more
Okay,
fit.
stop flirting. And
Cade
Yes.
messaged. He wanted to be on the show yesterday. He's like, let's.
while our
he
Zoom's
was
working again.
Wait,
Yeah, he
Cade
wanted
Huck-
Cade Huckluck.
Cade, does he say?
Cade Ashton.
Right.
Right.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Cade Ashton.
I have many questions about this last. His
Name switch.
How do you say Huckaluk or Hushlock?
He doesn't care anymore because it's just Ashton.
Yeah. Okay.
He changed his name.
Okay, we have.
And
a
I don't.
lot
I need to know
figure out.
more about that because I probably should know as being a
Very close friend of
a
yours.
friend of his. But anyway, he was planning with me to get on the show. Fine, I'll leave.
Gato,
Whatever, fine.
Gato. No, that's very exciting. Thank you. No, we appreciate
That dude's
it.
an amazing artist.
He's an old friend. This is slowly turning into like the old friends show. Ladies and gentlemen, coach number 2. Oh, top one there. And ladies and gentlemen, now give it up for the final stretch of the day. It's Curtis Anderson.
All right, start playing us out, right? Is that what you brought me on for?
Those fast fingers.
Of course, you get rid of the one guest that thinks I'm hot. You know, now I'm
gone.
stuck with
I'm
this
already
guy
gone.
with good eyesight. You
You
know,
have good eyesight, actually.
right?
Yes.
So it's okay.
Still think you're smoking.
Hey,
Okay.
thank you very much. I lost a lot of weight. True story. My nickname used to be Beverly Hills because when I got on the scale, it said 90210. So this is that joke tanked. I thought that would land so hard. I did. I used to be a big guy.
I was
So
trying
thank
to
you.
figure
Thank
out-
you so much for noticing the gains.
How big of a scale you would need to have that many digits on?
Right? I was there.
All right.
I was
Cattle
there.
Scales or semi scales.
You
You know they had to didn't like the Big Show get measured on one of those once or Mark Henry or someone? Threw him on
You
one of
know,
those.
you know what, Mike? You were talking about Waskasiu and golf before. You know my exact moment when I was like, man, I got to lose some weight. I was at, is it Big Olaf in
Of course it
Waskasiu?
was, yeah.
And I was like,
Is it still going?
I'd like a large. And they're like, kid, you don't like, nobody's ever finished a like extra large Big Olaf in the history of this place. And I was like Eric Cartmaning. I was like, I'm like, give me a large. It was already, And then I walked out and I was like, I got to make some better life decisions.
Clearly got out of control.
Really quickly, I did not expect to come on the show, so I did not wear a wrestling shirt.
Yeah.
However, I did a quick Google, and
go.
Jason Voorhees wrestled in CAW in 2004. They had a Jason Voorhees gimmick. He wrestled in EWE and a couple other places. I've never heard of any of these, but he was the no DQ CAW champion February 5th, 2004. Oh, yeah.
No dairy
UWF, UFW, and many countless other leagues. No copyright infringement there. Could you imagine?
That's a wrestling shirt, bro.
Could you imagine if Vince just brought out like Freddy Krueger? Oh,
Didn't he have
I
one?
think
Like,
he made it. Did
someone
didn't
did that, didn't they?
he? Or was it?
I know we had the goon.
BioSteel.
Hey! I got this. We don't.
So,
We're working on some business right now. We
I'm
can't be
sorry?
saying names. No, that's all
Oh.
good.
duh.
It just sort of. Do you know what that does? That elevates us. It gives us a little bit of mystery. You know, where's he going?
He's
Done
melting.
messed up.
Hey, can we go to the Curtis cam? Oh, he went down.
You're gonna edit that
I
out.
got downgraded to the Maggie cam
Edit that out
now.
in post
On the floor, Anderson. You.
of a live show.
Okay, so
Sorry.
here we go. As a guy who's ran a live show for years and years and years, huge shout out to Strip Down. Fantastic.
Yes.
We
Coming back for our
absolutely love it.
14th season.
Yeah, give it a share.
14th
Man,
season.
I saw the Spaghetti Man on the.
Spaghetti.
He's doing, dude.
Now that's an old 90s
He's
Vince
doing-
McMahon gimmick.
he's
Spaghetti Man. Ah.
Kick him in the meatballs.
Yeah.
He was. He's on like one of those voting things now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
that's
doing
really
well.
cool. I'm not sure. It's like a vote for his. It's like America's Got Talent or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it's very cool.
Yeah.
I was like, that's the guy who was just on Strip Down. That's very.
I did the
exciting.
entire hour with him on the set, covered in noodles, and I never once used my send nudes
Don't even look at me.
jokes.
I'm so
Like
mad.
noodles,
That's a
send
funny
nudes.
joke.
That
I'm
is a
so
funny
mad
joke.
I'm not even laughing because I forgot how pissed off I was that you had an entire set full of spaghetti and no one could eat it because you spilled all of it.
Coach
Very
is,
upsetting. Bye, Coach!
Coach is cleaning out your fridge as he on his way out. He's
Hey,
he's
it's his
filling,
fridge.
He's filling up his backpack with the drinks of our sponsors.
Ooh,
This is on the course, and I don't drink them.
I got it. Can you go inside and get those donuts for the boys before you leave?
What was that? Was
They're
that
in
a-
the fridge. Thanks, buddy. No,
Donuts.
Fireball for the boys.
Oh, we
Anyone
can
drink?
mention Fireball.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We're not trying to get a deal with them.
Okay.
The Rolex.
Anyways, okay. So while Coach gets a little snack for the boys, as we get set to
Play us out of here.
damn it here, we haven't even talked about anything. So this guy, the
Hey.
reason this guy is here,
We go
that
way
is one
back.
of my bestest, oldest buddies. He brought our friend Jamie, who in my phone I have as Work Ed Jamie,
Yep.
because he was a Work Ed student at Aiden Bowman, and my main man here, Jeff, brought him into the studio. He's like, I got this guy. He wants to come check it out. I was like, hell yeah. Brought this kid in studio. And he's like, so we can just go on the air? I was like, oh, yeah, go on the air, no problem. That's easy. It's all good. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, oh, yeah. So he sits down. We turn it on. We go live. First word he says is, holy F. But the full F word. Hard. And I'm sitting there like, this is the coolest dude in
but
the
you're
world.
Putting up. That's all it takes.
Man.
Because I mean, I can start swearing if you're gonna think.
Well,
the
no,
world of
when
me.
you're on the air at the old place and you're not scared of it or anything like that, and
I'm
you
more than
just let
one
it out and it's like real and organic, it's just
That's fair.
so cool.
That's fair.
And so he was just enamored by all this. Make way for the donuts! Oh, nice. Shout out to our friend Bryn at Darkside Donuts. Did you tell him you were bringing them here?
I didn't.
Okay, well, let him know. We
He
love
actually-
pushing
Thank you,
donuts.
Bryn.
actually used those for the trade show that I put on at my work.
Nice.
And there's a little extra box. Don't tell my bosses.
All right. Again, no one watches it, so you're
They'll
good.
I don't even
never
know where you
know.
work, so I'm
No
gonna
one
not go
watches
ahead and tell them.
So this kid blew my
Yeah.
mind, and I've been on and off talking to him since then. I gave him my numbers, like, anytime, man, you let me know. And I've been telling him for a while now that Mr. Peterson and I want to start a show with our man Jamie. And I just locked it down today. We were trying to get the Zoom going, but I can't figure out Zooms. Poor Jamie can't figure out a damn Zoom. So he says that
We
he will
didn't
have
teach him much.
transportation. Well, I blame you for that.
Yeah, you should. Well, Zoom wasn't even around. Well,
Yeah, it would have been on like The Verge, I
yeah,
bet.
it was a verge of
It
Zoom.
was pretty close.
Pretty
So he's going to be in next week for this man's birthday, and we are going to do a segment on here, and that will lead into another show that we will be starting. I don't know what we're going to call it yet, but it's going to be all about our man Jamie. He's a cool
Jam
dude.
Jam?
Jam Jam.
I've never called him that.
Now we will.
Now we will. Yeah.
Hey,
sorry, Jamie.
We didn't pass the cups around. You want an autograph cup? You see that? Here, give me a close-up on this one, Phenom. Look at that. Who's that handsome guy? See that? Hold on. Hold on.
I can't. Like, where does it end?
Isn't that the crazy part?
Picture within a picture within a picture within a picture.
So my good friend Mr. Peterson likes to give me these cups, and I love them so much. This one actually is autographed with his number on the back,
Yeah, that's my
which I
only
really
number.
like. I don't know what we're gonna drink. You want the liquor? Anyone?
You know what? No, but
No. That's okay. Trust
But
me.
thank you.
One thing I've learned about this studio, the one thing that I will go to the death defending is that no matter what anyone says about how they feel about liquor, it always disappears in here. Be it stage beers that aren't supposed to be drinking to the beers that are hidden throughout this little area, eventually someone drinks it all. And it's not me.
yeah.
So it's kind of funny how if you just leave liquor out long enough.
I'll hit that fireball in this.
Mommy!
Let's do it.
This is great. And your son's driving, right? So this is okay?
Oh, absolutely. We're on our way to the Rattlers game. It's the last game of the season.
Oh, Rattlers, go. How they looking? Talk to us. Give
so
us a
if
Rattlers
you,
update.
if you see the Jumbotron unusually bad tonight,
You didn't even cheers me, bro.
Post. Oh, it's back in. Now it's going back out. See?
Oh my God.
you got to do it the right way. I'll leave no men behind.
Man, I'll tell you, I don't miss Fireball. I feel like I don't really miss any liquor, which is a blessing, I think.
Yeah.
I haven't had a drink in like over 3.5 years now, I think. Or
Wow.
I don't even know the exact date or anything like that. I just sort of was like, I'll take a break and just kept going.
I feel like a
But
jerk
seeing
now.
stuff like that, no,
Yeah.
seeing stuff like this, it's like, man, I remember the last time I drank Fireball was at Echo Bay. So to all of our friends out at Echo Bay, I know a bunch of them are watching right now. My man Uzi was ripping the Fireballs. Whenever you go to his cabin, he'll line them up. It's like Fireball and like rum chata or something like that, like something just rank. And we did like 12 of them. Then I just went up back to the couch, like, well, that's it for me, and passed out. Maggie was running wild everywhere. Apparently, she got loose. It was just mayhem, and I was just passed out in the corner. It's like, Fireball, man, you know?
My old boss, radio sensation Andy Ross, gave me a giant thing of Fireball one year, and it sat in our cupboard. I was like, I don't know, like when is the right time to sit down and drink Fireball with the wife? Like never, right?
No, maybe with your son.
Maybe.
You guys had that beer.
Well, Funny thing, this was years ago. This was way before.
Okay.
We went to a cabin once with my mom and dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Let's go, Jerry. Let's drink some Fireball." And my dad was into it. And suddenly, Grandpa's coming down the hall, and he doesn't make his turn, and he runs right into the mirror. And I was like, "Okay, I get that you may have thought that was another room, but why didn't you try to get out of the way of the other old man coming at you?"
Fireball wins again.
So that's our Fireball
Undefeated.
story. That's the story of the. Maybe one day,
Do you call your dad by his first name?
just in situations like that, it's really funny.
Yeah.
It's
I've never-
really funny.
I don't think I've ever in my life called my dad Gary.
Well, it's 'cause
Yeah,
you're Gary.
Maybe that's it.
Gary Jr.
I love
Maybe,
saying Merv.
Yeah,
right?
Merv's
Just
classic.
I look for reasons to say Merv.
For
even though
so
that's
many years,
also-
It's like if my parents are a punchline, they're Bev and Jerry. You know?
Yeah.
Like there was a guy performing on Jazz Fest, and on the headset, the other camera guys were like, "I'm not sure about this guy," and I said, "Yeah, he's also dressed like my mom. Like is Bev tied up behind the stage somewhere?" Right? And
the
that's
nails, clothes
Bev.
on.
Bev in that is way funnier than is my mom tied. Like
Your
you
mom's name is
humanize her,
also
right?
Bev?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course it's Bev.
brothers?
See,
I mean,
We might be brothers.
everybody's name, every mom's name was Bev from like
My big thing
if you were born in the
was
70s or
between the
80s.
Petersons and the Dolls. So the Dolls had Marv, and the Petersons had Merv.
Between the
So
Petersons
getting
and the
those mixed up
Oh man.
would happen a lot over the years.
between the
Two of my
Petersons
favorite
and the
families.
Dolls,
Yeah.
great name for a segment. That could be my segment.
That'd be good.
All right, I'll just do it.
And then we'll get his brother, and we'll get Kurt Doll's brother Chris. And
No,
Careful
no,
what
no,
you wish for.
no connectors at all. It'll just
Ryan
be
already
me.
said he can't come here. He's like, I don't know if I'm made for that, but he would be fun to have him. Very fun to
It
have
would
him.
be a separate show
Yeah.
that you'd maybe want to put E on.
That would be the definite mature rating on there,
Yeah,
and that would be it.
Yeah, explicit, mature.
Oh man, it goes so fast, eh? I feel like I just sat down here, and now it's time to play us.
Just put the Ferris Bueller quote up on
Phenom. Which Ferris Bueller quote?
what is it like? Gotta
Let's
stop.
get some fingers going there,
Life.
please. Life comes at you fast sometimes.
That's it.
If you don't take a break, it'll kick you in the nuts.
It's close.
Word for word.
Now we gotta fade to black, and then he's gotta come back up, and you gotta be standing there being like, "What are you doing? Go home. It's over."
Yeah, the music is going. Sorry, sorry. We're
Right.
playing.
So you gotta do that line now.
It's like,
What are you doing here?
what are you doing here? It's over. Go
home.
That's good. Hey, thank you to Adrian Belarjon joining us as he does every week from beautiful Australia. Tristan the Destroyer. Don't forget Battle X tonight. Going on. If you love Viking metal, go check it out.
Who doesn't love Viking metal?
So good. So good. He's such a cool dude.
Right.
So they're there right now, doors at the RCAF on Avenue C. Enjoy some amazing music. To Coach Mazer, taking his time to get off the golf course and into the studio and then out again. Thank you to him as always. To the Phenom. God, you're good, dude. Great job today, as we weren't sure what we were going to have with the Zoom, so it was nice to see that go down. And to you two, Mr. Anderson and Mr.
If you're not at the Viking metal show, come to the last Rattlers game, unless they make playoffs. But I've been told it's not likely. I mean, maybe if they win by like 300 points tonight. Always worth your money. Come check out the last game of the season.
I'm pulling for the 300 points tonight. That could
Thanks
be
for
good.
having us here.
Go Rats.
Yeah,
Thanks so much
always
for
a
coming by,
pleasure.
guys, and we'll get you more on as we continue to move forward and grow. And to you at home, thank you for joining us each and every day. We appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. for another edition of your show. Until then, remember, karma is very, very, very real. This place is proof of that, all right? You keep doing good things, you'll notice good things will start happening to you. And then you'll notice when you go outside, people aren't so angry anymore, and then life gets a little bit better. It's a beautiful, beautiful system. So keep that in mind as you make your way through today. Anything else? I just want to get that out there. I'd love to leave everyone on.
These donuts look amazing.
Are you ready to get in those?
Yeah.
Dude, I had 4 last night. I ate 4 donuts between the hours of 11 p.m. and 12:30 a.m.
What's your donuts per hour there, almost?
That was like 3.5.
DPH?
Maybe, yeah. DPH would be about 3.5.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'll tell you
You're going at a clip there.
the toilet per hour this morning wasn't as impressive, I'll tell you that. So good.
Get the
Hey,
toilet duck
that's
going.
it. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.